He's grumpy, he is protective, he is just chef's kiss. I honestly think that this is my favorite book in the series so far. This is what they look like. Don't like them. My niche, I guess, is just a mom who likes to read smutty books and fantasies and thrillers. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I am so excited about this one because I started off this channel as a book channel, but I never did a reading vlog video. Ever. I did like book hauls, book reviews, making like TBR jars and things like that, but I never did an actual reading vlog. Why? I'm not sure, to be quite honest. I started off as like a book channel, but then I started doing a little bit of vlogs, then I took a break, then I came back, and then I got pregnant, and now my niche, I guess, is just a mom who likes to read smutty books and fantasies and thrillers. I just haven't had the opportunity to do a reading vlog, but this video is a video that I'm gonna do a reading vlog. I think it was on my shorts that I made a January TBR video, and I already finished The Silent Patient. I finished The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore, and I have The Nanny to finish up. The goal for January was to finish books that I was kind of in the middle of, and I just wanted to get them out of the way. And these weren't books that I paused, for any specific reason. It wasn't that I disliked the book. It was just I either got super busy or, whatever it was, and I just didn't get to finish it. So in this video, I want to finish up The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. This book so far, from what I've read, which I'm kind of halfway through. Also, look at this. It's a little corgi, but that's adorable. She is kind of at a point in her life where she either needs to find a new job ASAP or she needs to open back up her OnlyFans. She had an OnlyFans account, and I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, it was like through her college years, but now she's at a point where she's really considering opening it back up. So luck is on her side. She finds a job being a nanny. Cue in the MMC Aiden Reed. Now Aiden Reed was one of her OnlyFans subscribers. He interacted with her quite heavily, but she never showed her face, and she obviously didn't use her name, so he has no idea that his nanny is the girl that he practically fell in love with online. He has no idea that it's his nanny. So that's kind of what this book is about, where she figures out that her new employer is the guy that was heavily interacting with her on her OnlyFans account. It seems really interesting. I don't know exactly why I put this book down, but I really want to finish it, and I want to get into a bunch of series that I am either in the middle of or that I purchased and I just haven't gotten into. I want to get into those stories, but I want to clear this up first. So The Nanny is going to be on this reading vlog, as well as Caught Up. I have it on my Kindle. I don't have the physical copy. I'm not even sure if I have the physical copy of Mile High and The Right Move. This series is the Windy City series by Liz Tomford. I've read Mile High, which I absolutely loved, and I read the following book, which is The Right Move, but now the third book in the series is Caught Up. I believe there are 2 other books. Let me look it up. There's Play Along and Rewind It Back. So I really want to get through this series as well. I was looking for a book on Kindle Unlimited because I just finished reading The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore, but I also listened to The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden on Audible, and I wanted a break from the psychological thrillers, and I wanted something kind of more romancy. And I saw on my Kindle history that I read Mile High and The Right Move, and the next book is Caught Up. So I read the recap of those 2 books to kind of refresh my memory, and I got started on Caught Up. Super quickly, I just wanted to interrupt because I didn't really say what the book is about. Caught Up follows the story of Miller and Kai. Miller is the daughter of the head baseball coach for Kai's team, and Kai is a single dad. He was, obviously eligible bachelor, just traveling city to city. He knocked somebody up. She came 6 months later and was like, here's your son. I literally don't want to be a mom. I can't deal with this, so good luck. And she left. So from one day to the next, he became a father and had to take care of Max, his 6-month-old, which in the story, I think he is like about 1.5 years or so. And he's extremely overprotective of Max, wants to be the best dad that he possibly can be while still juggling his career. And there are just no nannies that are good enough for him. He will literally always find a problem with every single nanny. And that is when Monty, the head coach, who has a really, really good relationship with him because he also was a single dad and raised Miller on his own, he suggested that Miller fill in as his nanny because she has 2 months off for the summer, and it's perfect because he can get time with his daughter, who he misses because she is a very young but very successful pastry chef. So she's always traveling city to city. She doesn't settle down. He doesn't get to see her very often. So he's like, look, you get a nanny who you can't fire because it's my daughter, and I get to spend time with my kid. So that is pretty much the story of Caught Up. It is the romance between Miller and Kai, single dad nanny. She's spicy, she has no filter, she's amazing. He's grumpy, he is protective, he is just chef's kiss. So that is what the story is about. Let's continue on. I'm actually 4 chapters in and I already really like it, and I didn't think I was going to because I'm normally not like a single dad trope kind of loving girl, and also she's a pastry I don't know, like there's something about it that I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but so far I really like their characters. So that's what this reading vlog is going to be about. I don't know if I'm going to throw another one in there. Probably not, because I don't want to make this first one too long or too overwhelming for myself. What I'm going to do now is heat up a little bit of soup and have that while I finish up another chapter or 2 of Caught Up. And I will get back to you guys in a little bit with some thoughts. And yeah, super excited for my first reading vlog video. So let me get some soup and food in my belly because I'm very hungry, and I will come back in a little bit. I also made some cookies yesterday, and they are like a box mix from Trader Joe's, and it's called Everything But the Kitchen Sink. This is what they look like. Don't like them, don't recommend. They have like pretzel and chocolate chips, and all of that sounded really good, but it's like an oat-based cookie, and I'm not a fan of oat cookies, so yeah, don't like it. Which is fine. I don't need to be eating cookies anyway, to be quite honest. But yeah, I'm gonna set myself up. It's actually really cold in Florida, so it is the perfect temperature, perfect weather to cozy up with a book. Also, my mom is here. She is watching my baby. She comes over a few times a week just so that I can get some things done, whether it's filming or editing or cleaning the house or whatever kind of project we have going on in this house. I try to knock everything out in one day as far as filming goes. Well, in this case, not so much because it's a reading vlog and I'm not gonna read everything in one sitting, but like my YouTube shorts and content for TikTok and things like that, I try to get it done in one day and plan out my videos like on a weekly basis. So yeah, I'm just really grateful and thankful that she's here to help, and I can still, I don't know, have time for my creative outlets. Anyway, I'm gonna eat my soup. It is freaking delicious. It looks like broccoli cheddar, but it's not. It's really good. And I'm gonna start up my Kindle so that I can get a chapter or 2 in while I eat. I'm on chapter 4 right now, and yeah, it's just so good. I am really loving the character dynamics. I love how spicy Miller is and just her crazy character, crazy attitude. I don't know how to explain it. She's a wild card, but there's a reason for her to kind of be a wild card, and the book explains it really early on, and I'm sure it'll keep diving into that. So really excited for this. I feel like this one might rival Mile High, which I really enjoyed. Anyway, let me stop chit-chatting. Let me eat, let me get to reading, and I will come back to you guys in a little bit. So this is the reality of reading when you're a mom, especially when you're a mom that has a baby. I'm literally in bed. My baby is in my lap, sleeping on the pillow, and I have my Kindle on my baby's lap, and I'm reading as I hold my baby. It's the one good thing I will say about reading and about having a Kindle is that I can read anywhere and at any time pretty much. And I take advantage when my baby is taking a nap. You hear the snores? That's some real good sleep right there. Anyway, I have a bunch of Audible credits, so I ended up getting caught up on Audible as well so that I can listen to it. And I listened to a bit of it while I was walking my dogs earlier. Today is my golden retriever Darla. It's her birthday. So I'm going to read a little bit more while my baby naps. And then I'm going to get up and make Darla some steak to put in her little dinner, and she has dessert today, so she gets banana and peanut butter and whipped cream and her little birthday gifts and all that stuff. So I'm going to read a little bit more before I get into all of that. Then I'm going to take a shower, take off all my makeup and all that good stuff, and get in bed. And again, beauty of having a Kindle is that I can read in bed and I don't need to have a book light or anything like that. I just adjust the brightness and the warmth of the screen, and then I could just read. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to just read while my baby sleeps. And yeah, let's see how far I get today. But so far, I'm really enjoying Kai and Miller's interaction. Really enjoying it. So I have high hopes for this one. Hey guys, it is the next day, as you can tell. Wash my hair. So I'm sitting down. My mom is here. She's watching the baby for just a few hours today. So I have laundry going. I tidied up the house a little bit. I'm gonna do my nails because they are... It's about that time. So I have a new set of nails, the impressed nails, and this is really all I have time and energy for because I can literally just like pop these off. They're the ones like with the little sticky glue tab. I can just rip them off and put on a new set. So while I do my nails, I'm gonna keep listening to the audiobook. It is starting to get really good in the book. I got up to the pool scene yesterday where they start to kind of open up a little bit more and share a little bit more details about their upbringing and like, you know what I mean? Like it's just getting a little bit more real, raw moments. And I love that, but there's still like that tension between them. So super excited to see where the story goes. I'm gonna put on my headphones, keep listening, and then I'm determined to finish this book today. So I'm gonna listen for as long as I can while I do chores and things like that, and then I will come back in a little bit and give you guys some more thoughts once anything good and juicy happens. This will be spoiler free. I will say it'll be spoiler free, but I'll come back and I'll update you guys. So I was able to get pretty far into the story. Again, like I listened pretty fast, and this particular one, the narrator is really slow in my opinion. And I think I listened to it like on a 2.15 or something like that. So I cleaned up a little bit, and I don't know if you can tell, like my stools are like up on the counter because, you know, I vacuum and then anyway, whatever. I got pretty far in the book, and there were a few scenes that I was like kicking my feet giddy. And one of them is a specific scene where they all go out together as a team. Miller goes out, Kai finally goes out, and they're definitely not an item yet at this point of the story. I've already passed that, but they're not an item yet at this point of the story. But you can see like the tension is there and that like jealous, possessive side of him. I absolutely love that in a romance. I love those qualities in an MMC, like the don't touch her, she's mine, possessive, jealous. I like that. Maybe not in real life because that's a little toxic, but I like it in a book. I really, really, really like it. So far, the tension between the two of them is just, it's everything. It is palpable. It is delicious. I love it. So I'm almost done. I think I'm on like, there's 40 chapters, I think, and I think I'm on like chapter 31. So I'm going to finish reading and then I will come back and share my final thoughts. If this book continues to go the way that it is going right now, it is a 5-star book. I will tell you that right now. Let me continue reading. I'm very excited to see where this story is going. There's definitely been a few like more emotional scenes, not anything to make you cry, but just like really good, heartfelt, emotional scenes. And yeah, let me stop yapping. Let me get to reading because I want to finish this up. I'm hoping that I can finish it in under an hour. So let's get to reading. I loved that book so much. I honestly think that this is my favorite book in the series so far. So I absolutely loved Mile High. I know that a lot of people don't like Mile High and they kind of just push through and then they really like The Right Move. I loved Mile High, but what I love about this series is that it is kind of like an interconnected series and you get glimpses of the previous characters from the other books in the stories and also like little teasers of the following story. So I already knew that the next story, which I think is, what is it called? Play Along, if I'm not mistaken, was going to be focused on Isaiah and Kennedy. Isaiah is Kai's little brother in Caught Up, and you can definitely sense that there was like some heavy like hints, and the epilogue definitely left you kind of like with your mouth open when it came to Isaiah and Kennedy, and you're like, okay, now I really need to know what the hell was that about and what's going on. It was such a good story. Definitely a 5-star. I think this might be, I definitely want to catch up on the other 2 books in the series. I don't know if there's any more coming out, but I feel like this has the potential to be like a god tier series where every single book in the series is a 5-star. I feel like it has that potential for sure. Now I will say I did love Caught Up and Mile High a little bit more than The Right Move, but I love The Right Move as well. So I don't know if that's a little bit confusing. Like I absolutely loved all of the books that I've read so far, but if I'm ranking it on my absolute favorites, it's Caught Up, Mile High, and then The Right Move right after that. But they're all fantastic. I would encourage that if you want to get into a sports romance, you would give this series a try. The one thing I wanted to say about this series is that I feel like every book has like a real life problem or situation that is really, really relatable. So like in the first book, Mile High, Stevie dealt with a lot of like self-esteem and body issues. In the second book, Indy dealt with fertility issues. And in Caught Up, Miller feels the pressures of having to like live up to something and be like a big name and make something of herself to make her father proud of her, although she doesn't need to. And on the flip end, Kai is a single dad who doesn't trust anyone with their kids. And I don't know if it's because I recently had a baby and I'm going through that whole stage, and maybe that's why it's something that I can relate to, because I'm currently in that stage of life. But like, I don't trust anybody with my baby, so I can see where Kai is coming from. And I did not think that I was going to like the single dad nanny dynamic. I normally don't love the story, which is funny because the other story that I'm trying to finish up in this video is The Nanny. But I think I might be turning over a new leaf, and I think it's because I myself have a small baby. And yeah, I don't know, there was just something about this book that was just, I ate it up. I absolutely loved it. Miller is spicy and a wild card, and she has no filter, but she has such a good heart, and she's such a good person. And then you get to see bits of the characters that were in the other books and how they've evolved and how they still have a very strong friend group. And it's just like good feelings, good vibes all around. But then you also have Kai, and he is like the grumpy MMC, but he's just really protective of his son. And that's something that I can also relate to. So I don't know, just overall, the story was absolutely fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. Anyway, that story was a 5-star. Absolutely loved it. I have a little bit of time before my mom heads on home, and it's still kind of daylight and it's starting to get a little bit dark. And once it does, the lighting in the house is just not the same, and I really don't want to bust out ring lights and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna get started on The Nanny and just see how far I get. Let me see what chapter I'm on. I'm on chapter 12. It looks like there's 27 chapters and the epilogue. So let me get back into this one and see how far I get. Again, I don't remember putting this down for any specific reason. I can remember what I did read, and I don't remember like disliking it or there being a specific moment in the book that I absolutely hated. I just stopped reading it for whatever reason. But yeah, let me pick this back up. Let me read a little bit, see how far I get, and I will come back to you with my final thoughts on this one. I have to film. No. Would you like to say anything? Don't show me your teeth. Okay. All right, guys. I need to be super honest with you and be so for real. I definitely want to always have honesty at the forefront of this channel. And all that is to say that I really am not in the mood to read The Nanny. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's just the storyline is a little bit flat or boring. Like I really don't know what it is about this particular story, but it is just not calling my attention whatsoever. So I am going to put this book down for the time being, and I'm going to talk about a book that I have been reading. I'm almost done. I think I'm 80% of the way in. I've been reading it on my Kindle. And the reason I even came across this story was because I was watching Larry's recent video with Mama Eureka, and they were talking about their God tier series. Now, if anyone knows Larry and anyone knows Mama Eureka, she's been a little bit more active on socials and on her daughter's channel. I trust Mama Eureka's recommendations for dark romances. In my mind, she is like dark romance queen, so she knows what she's talking about. And Mama Eureka was talking about a trilogy, I believe it's called the Souls trilogy, and it's by Harley LaRue. The very first book is called Her Soul to Take. It is a dark, spicy, paranormal type of romance, and it sounded good. And it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I was like, okay, perfect, I'm gonna read that. And so far, the story has been so good. The plot has been really good. I am just having issues with the FMC because I find her to be so freaking annoying. This girl has zero self-preservation skills whatsoever. She is so hard-headed and stubborn and constantly putting herself in harm's way. And if it was that she started off that way, but then, can you even see the top of my head? Hold on, there you go. I had to adjust my camera. But if she started off that way, but then I saw some character development and some progression, that would be good. But the problem is that we're 80% in and she still annoys the shit out of me. And it sucks though, because I genuinely love the other characters and I really like the story. But let me read to you a quick little snippet of what Her Soul to Take is about, because honestly, I am really struggling with mom brain today. And I feel like the sentences are forming in my head, but something between them forming here and them coming out of my mouth, something gets really messed up. and it's just not working for me today, so I'm just gonna read it to you. It says, Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue is the first book in the Souls trilogy, a dark, spicy, paranormal romance featuring a ghost hunter who becomes entangled with a demon and a cult in a small town with dark academia elements. The story follows protagonist Ray as she hunts ghosts and finds herself in a dangerous situation with a demon named Leon who claims he wants her soul, leading to a steamy and intense supernatural relationship. It's known for its explicit content, supernatural themes, and dark romance tropes, gaining popularity on platforms like TikTok. And I think because the actual storyline is really interesting and there's certain events that are just really fun to read, very creepy, very mysterious. It allows me to kind of overlook how annoying Ray is. Also, Leon, I know he's a demon, but in the book, he is like, he looks like a man, but his character is just so funny, sarcastic, protective, possessive. I love his character. I think he's great. And I honestly don't know how he puts up with her because he constantly finds himself in situations that could have been avoided had she just not been a freaking idiot. That's how the cookie crumbles in this book. Like I said, it's not going to stop me from reading the book, but it will stop me from giving this book a 5-star. I already know that. It's a really, really good book, but when I am super irritated with the FMC or with the MMC, it's so hard for me to give it a 5-star because all I want to do is reach into the pages of the book and just punch this FMC. So yeah, but nonetheless, it is a really, really, really good story. And if you like dark, spicy romances, if you like academia type vibes, I definitely would check this story out. It is very like atmospheric, lots of spooky, gloomy, rainy kind of vibes. Really, really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading this. I should be able to finish this pretty quickly because, like I said, I think I'm 80% of the way in. So I'm gonna finish reading this and I will come back at the very end with my final thoughts. So I was able to finish that up pretty fast. It is such a good storyline and there's action and paranormal and spice. You just kind of eat it up. It's one of those kind of books where you just read it at a really fast pace. I really did enjoy the ending. I enjoyed that it kind of cleared up the crisis in the first book. So there's no major cliffhangers where you're forced to read the second book. But because you know what's going on and the threat to humanity, I kind of want to know what happens in the second and third book. So I will be reading the next one. I'm not sure if I'm going to read it directly after this one now or if I'm going to take a break and read something else and then come back to it. And although Ray was incredibly annoying to me personally throughout the entire book pretty much. Towards the very end, she redeemed herself just a little bit, but she was really just an annoying character. I can't give it a 5-star, even though I really, really did enjoy the story. Leon, he was fantastic, but I think I'm gonna sit on it for a little bit before I give it like my official rating. And I have like a little book review template in my iPad, and I've been trying to keep a track of every single book that I read and all of that good stuff. So as of right now, I give it a solid 4-star. Had Ray not been so annoying, I really do think this could have been like a 4.75, even a 5-star. Like, it's a really, really interesting story and I really enjoyed it, but I can't give it anything higher than a 4 because 90% of the book, I literally just wanted to punch her in the face. So because of that, that's kind of like where my rating stands. But I'm going to sit on it for a little bit and then write my review probably tomorrow. But as for this video, I think I'm going to close it out because I don't want it to be super long, but I am super excited that I was able to film my first reading vlog. It's definitely not as intimidating as I thought it was. You're just setting up your tripod and recording yourself while you read. Like, it's pretty simple, and I don't know why I didn't do it before, but I'm really excited that I got to film this video. I definitely want to film a lot more reading vlogs. So let me know in the comments down below if there's any specific book that you really want me to read. I have plenty of books back there to get into. So I'm gonna pick up my February TBR and I will probably put that video out next. I'll see, because I'm also working on like a weekly meal or like a, what would I title it? Weekly meals I eat in a week, whatever. I'm currently working on that one as well. So we'll see. This was really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have made it to this part of the video, thank you so much. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here. And until the next video, bye friends.